Hey team, what's up? How's it going? Just want to make a quick little video here on a very, very important topic, and that topic is how to do calls, whether it be three-way calls, Skype calls, anything like that. Obviously it's very, very important that you tell your story. You get it out there. You talk to more and more people about what this is and present to more people about the opportunity. So a lot of you are ready to do calls, you just don't know how. So I'm going to give you tips on really what I do and the steps I take when I'm giving either a three-way call or a Skype call or whatever. And hopefully this can help you guys get started doing your own calls. And one thing you got to remember is that it doesn't matter what rank you're at. All right, you could be member, bronze, silver, it doesn't matter. I remember doing calls when I was member because I was so excited about the business. I wanted to get it out there. Okay, and that was when I was a couple months in. I had some experience and knowledge on everything that was going on. But you definitely want to do calls when you're ready, when you have the information ready and you're confident. Then let's start getting these calls down. Let's start practicing. It takes time. You're not going to be Alex Morton. The first call you do. You're going to stumble a little bit. You'll be a little all over the place, but at least you'll get the information out and you'll get some practice in and continue to improve on your story and your presentation the more and more calls you do. It's just like anything else. It takes practice. So when you're doing calls, number one thing you need to remember is that you're just trying to relate to your audience. You need to relate to your audience, whether it be a three-way or a Skyping into an audience, whatever it is, relate to your audience. The better you can relate to them, the more open they're going to be to hear what you have to say. All right, guys, so that's the number one thing. And you got to remember that your audience is thinking two things. Here's the two questions they're asking themselves, and you got to answer for them while you're presenting the whole time. It's, can I do this? It's like a tattoo on their forehead. Can I do this? And what's in it for me? Those are the two questions they're thinking. So while you're presenting, be answering those questions, while you're telling your story and while you're giving them the facts. And understand that the story sells it, the facts tell it. So it's important that you tie the facts into your story. And this takes practice. Like I said, this is a skill you're going to build over time. So the facts tell it, the story sells it. All right, guys, so practice that. And if you want, you can practice this before you actually get on a live call, and then you'll be a little bit more confident when you do decide to do a three-way call for your downline or a Skype call or whatever it is. So put yourself in their shoes. Number one, relate to them. What I like to do is get to know my audience, especially if it's a three-way call, and I'm talking to one of my brand partners. I'm like, all right, tell me a little bit about this guy. Give me some background on him. Where did he go to school? Where does he live? Whatever it is. So just so I have an idea of what to talk about, is he working? So I know what to talk about and know how to relate to them even better. So get to know your audience. If you can get to know them before you talk to them, that's great. And then you have an advantage. You can relate to them a lot easier. Okay, guys. So when I start telling my story, first thing I do is, I'll be like, hey, what's up? Introduce myself, get to meet them, especially if it's a one-on-one. I want to introduce myself, and so I'm not some stranger on the phone, as well as I want to let them know that my goal is just to educate them. My goal is to give them enough information where they can make an educated decision on whether or not this is right for them. So I say that to them, like, hey man, my goal is just to give you enough information where I can educate you, and you can make an educated decision on whether or not this is right for you. And does that sound good? Yeah, that sounds great. Cool. Awesome. Well, if you got some time, I'll get started with it then. Yeah, I got some time. Whatever it is, just let them know. So that takes the pressure off. They're like, all right, well, he's just informing me. All right. And then from there, I ask him a few questions. I'm not going to verbally puke, the information all over him. I'll talk to him, have a conversation with him, especially if it's a one-on-one. If I'm Skyping into an audience, I just go on with my story. But yeah, it really, like I said, depends on who you're talking to. A couple people, a lot of people, whatever it is. So then from there, I started telling my story. I talk about what I did before Vemma, what I was doing, before I heard about the opportunity. For me, I was lifeguarding. I delivered pizzas. I mowed lawns, whatever, those odd jobs that just to make some money, like most people do. I was doing that kind of stuff. I talk a little bit about that, and then from there, I go on to talk about how I heard about it. And for me, and my story is that I moved off to Arizona State University. I was walking through my dorm lounge. I met Alex Morton and Nick Patak. They introduced it to me. They let me try the product. All right, and then from there, in my story, I talk about what the product is. I talk about the benefits. You definitely want to mention the product, and you want to kind of mention all the products too, so they have an idea of what we're promoting. Talk about the weight loss, the protein shakes, the liquid multivitamin, the Verve, whatever. Talk about all the products, and then from there, the benefits of them, how they benefited you, how do you like them, what's in them, and just give them an overall view of what we're working with and what we're promoting. Okay, so I talk about the products. From there, I'll talk a little bit about my skepticism, because most people are skeptical. I don't care who you are. You're at least a little bit of skeptical when you first heard about it. So that relates to those newer people a lot, because most people are skeptical. So say, hey, I was skeptical. I thought it was a pyramid scheme, scam, too good to be true, whole 9 yards. But luckily, I stuck around long enough to get all the information. I heard from Nick and Alex. I heard that obviously we have a lot of credibility. So then I'll talk about credibility. Talk about Phoenix Suns, Dr. Oz, Chris and Heidi Powell, Eric Thomas, Michael Jordan, whatever. Talk about the credibility. That raises the belief level, right? You're relating to them, raising their belief level, getting them to understand a little bit about what's going on. And then I talk about what it is. Explain to them the concept of the advertising budget and how it pays you instead of paying billboards, commercials, Google ads, whatever. It's paying you, and that's where the money comes from. Help them understand it a little bit, as well as obviously they're understanding the products, how the business works, and then you're tying this all into your story. All right, guys. And then from there, I'll go on a little bit more, and I want to get their attention in the beginning. Obviously, I grab their attention by we're doing something that's never been done before. Something exciting, something that I never maybe saw myself doing, but definitely the best decision in my life I've ever made. So then I talk about how I got started, the benefits, talk about all the benefits. Like I said, they're thinking, what's in it for me, right? Talk about the benefits. Talk about the benefits of the product, the benefits of the people you've met, the networks you've created, if you've been able to travel already. Talk about where you've been able to travel, how much it's affected you, and how much it's benefited you so far. Whether you're a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months in, talk about the benefits of the business and what it's done for you. Okay, so you keep going on with your story, and you're talking about just your experience, really. Whatever it is, the places you've been, how much you've changed, and everything like that. Because everyone's got a different story, so it really depends on that and what your story is and your experience and how long you've been doing it. But then from there, talk about how this thing works. Break it down. Break it down for them exactly how this works. Whether they want to know, like, hey, the products are only sold online; they're not sold in stores. Whatever it is, break it down, help them understand it even more. And then from there, you got to make sure you're showing excitement the whole time. While you're telling your story, while you're blending in the facts into your story, show excitement. Because, dude, no one's going to want to listen to you if you're monotone. No one's going to listen to you if you're like, yeah, dude, it's really cool. You gotta try it out. There's a guy making like $1 million. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sweet. There's really good drinks, healthy energy drinks. I mean, that's boring. People are going to stop listening to you right from the start if you are not interesting, if you're monotone, if you don't show excitement, passion, enthusiasm. Okay, so you should be doing that the whole time you're presenting, or on a phone call, Skype call, whatever. And most importantly, you need to talk about why you're doing this. People buy why you do something, they don't buy what you do. So talk about the reason why, whatever it is. Retire your parents, whether it's freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, really, whatever it is, no boss telling you what to do. You get to wake up when you're done sleeping 6 Saturdays, 1 Sunday. Talk about whatever it is. Whatever your true why is, people will connect with that. And if you're passionate about it, they're going to be listening to it, because everyone's interested in and hearing about someone's passion. They get into it. Whether it's like a topic they personally are passionate about or not, they're going to be listening to you because you're passionate about it. So show that excitement, that enthusiasm, that passion. Tell your story, break it down for them, help them understand it. Really connect with them, relate with them, tell your why, and people are going to connect with you so much more than if you just sit there monotone, just telling them facts the whole time. Like, they just get bored. They think you're just trying to sell them something. And really what you're trying to do is present an opportunity of a lifetime that you have got involved with, that has changed your life, that you want anyone and everyone to hear about. And you are super, super jacked up about it, and your belief level is skyrocketed. You have to have a very, very high belief level in what you're doing, and also where this company is going, so then their belief level will be high, right? So when you're done with that, when you've gone through everything, you need to paint the picture. You need to show them the vision of, if they do decide to get involved, they do decide they want to either be a brand partner or a customer. If they want to be a brand partner, talk about the vision of where the company's going, the benefits they're going to get. Whatever is about to happen, like, hey, we're about to go from a $1 million company to a $1 billion company. You don't want to miss out on this, right? Paint the picture for them. I like to do it from talking about private helicopters and private yachts to private islands, just something way bigger than they ever imagined. So then that way they're like, wow, I never really thought that big before, or wow, this guy really believes in this business. He really believes on where he's going and what he's doing. So guys, paint that picture for them. Show them the vision. That's crucial. All right. From there, if I'm on, let's say I'm about to close, I'm about to finish this thing up, I'm on a phone call. What I do is I'll bring it back to them. The whole time especially if I'm on a one-on-one call, I'm going to be having him answer questions. Like, I'm not going to verbally puke all over him. I'll be like asking him questions, kind of taking breaks in and out. But if I'm on like a presentation with like an audience, or like on a Skype call, I'll just be talking most of the time. But it really depends. Like I said, relate to your audience. All right. And from there, if I'm on a one-on-one call, I'll be like, all right, I'll open it up to you for questions. I'll answer any questions you have for me. I want you to fully understand exactly what we're doing and where this thing is going and how powerful this business model is. All right. And then if I'm doing like a presentation with like a Skype call or something, from there I'll close it off. Okay. It's important that you know how to close after you're done presenting, because think of it this way: if you don't close, it's like giving someone a gift without wrapping it. It's like, what? It's not really a gift then, is it? No. So if you're going to give a whole presentation without closing, it doesn't really make sense. So you got to close it up. You got to wrap it up. You got to, number one, create that sense of urgency. Like, hey, if you don't do what we're doing, you're going to miss out on this, 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 and that. And if you don't do it quickly, make that decision. Help them make a decision. People struggle with making decisions, so they're never really taught how to make a decision. So you need to help them. Closing is just helping someone make a decision. All right. So let them know that if you don't tell your friends, someone else will. This thing's growing fast. The timing of this is right freaking now. Like, close it up, black or white, yes or no. Let's go. We're moving forward. And, with or without you, we're moving forward. So whatever it is, close the deal. After they got the presentation, you just want to give them enough information where they can make an educated decision, guys. And right from there, that's a basically, in a nutshell, how I present it. Obviously, like I said in the beginning, everyone's got their own style. Everyone's got their own spin they put on it. But that's just some tips and kind of a little structure of what I do personally when I'm presenting, whether it's a three-way Skype call or I'm presenting to an audience. And then I hope that helps you guys. I hope you guys have a better idea of what to do and what to say when you are formulating your story. And that takes time. Obviously your story's going to change the more you're involved with the business and as the days go on. But you want to keep improving, keep adjusting your story, and you'll get better and better. Like I said in the beginning, it's a skill. The more you do it, the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. So with that, guys, hope that helps. Let's start doing more and more calls. Please share this with your downline. Hopefully this will help them as well get a better idea of what to do, what to say when doing calls. And like I said, you can do it whenever whatever rank you are. I don't care. You made a couple $100, you made $600, $700, $800. You got some credibility. You can start doing calls now because you make $800 in a week. That gets someone's attention, right? You have that credibility, all right? So you can start doing your own phone calls. You can start doing your own Skype calls and start practicing it, like I said, and we can start blowing this thing up. I mean, let's take this thing to the top. I'm excited about where this is going. The more people I can help understand how to build this business effectively, the better we're going to be working together as a team. So share this video with your downline. Let's go. Let's make it happen, and see you guys later.